I usually don't like making videos about drama, but I think this topic deserves some sort of attention because of how much of a curveball it felt to me. Less than 24 hours ago, this Redditor by the name of Various Arrival 1633 posted a seemingly innocent question on both the INTJ and INTP subreddit, asking the exact same question. And the question was, INTJ or INTP, what do you think about the other type? The question seems innocent enough, and as an INTJ myself, I've always been a fan of INTPs. I don't think I've ever met an INTP where I didn't at least respect, even if we didn't get along. So what I expected were 2 Reddit posts filled with wholesome comments. But what actually transpired was the exact opposite of wholesome. It was unwholesome or non-wholesome. Some of these comments are so ridiculous, I feel like I have to make this statement so that this issue doesn't escalate after this video release. Here are a few things that I feel like everyone needs to keep in mind while watching this video. First, it's the internet, guys. We can't verify everyone's type. These people might be mistyped, young, or unhealthy. Second, don't take these comments personally. Everyone has their own unique life experience, and a single negative experience that someone faced doesn't invalidate their feeling. It's their truth. They can't change their past. We have to accept that it's real to them. Third, this video isn't about the battle of wits. If we're talking about an intellectual sparring match, yes, INTPs, you guys are our go-to. Pound for pound, blow for blow, you guys are the only type I see being able to put up a good fight against us INTJs. Your intelligence are unrivaled, and that's what makes it fun. But that's not what this video is about. The last thing is that both the INTP and INTJs, we're both fucking nerds. To say one nerd is better than another nerd won't make us any cooler. One of the type could be king of the nerds, but guess what? At the end of the day, we're still nerds. Let's unite. Why are we fighting? I get no personal pleasure from fighting against INTPs, outside of a witty banter here and there. Now, with that out of the way, to summarize both posts in a nutshell, the INTJ subreddit post is filled with tons of admiration comments for INTPs. Yes, there are some negative, but the majority leans positive. As of creation of this video, the highest uprated comment in the INTJ subreddit by the username Uwaga simply reads, I like them, INTPs, a lot. I feel like they match my energy. This post has 38 upvote and is the highest rated comment. Short, to the point, very simple, yet impactful, and has a hint of FI. Very, very INTJ. Now, let's go over to the INTP subreddit and see what they have to say about us. But I do have to warn you guys, for those of you INTJs that are easily triggered, you're gonna have a bad time. So the highest voted comment in the INTP subreddit with 120 votes wrote the following. And to maintain the essence of what's written, I'm just gonna read it verbatim or at least put in words to make it make sense. The Reddit user by the name Kim Jong-yu wrote, us INTPs, we are more funny and cute than them. They are more emotional than what they pretend. They take everything seriously. They're not fun at parties when we INTPs can let go and get goofy around our friends. They know how to open up emotionally more than we do on a deeper level. They look colder but are warmer. When we look warmer but are colder. They're more goal-oriented. Let's say that we're similar, but they are a bit more boring than us. A bit more boring, you say? Okay, so it wasn't that bad of a post because this user did make some valid points that I agree with, such as INTJs being more emotional than what we allow people to see, and that we know how to open up emotionally and have a deeper understanding of our emotion compared to the INTPs. But the comments following escalates pretty drastically. Comparatively, this is a pretty decent and sound comment. I don't agree with everything that Kim Jong said, but there seems to be some sort of thought and logic put into it. There's even an INTP by the name of Akira0101 defending INTJ, saying that this comment is a simplification and a misrepresentation. I agree that it's simple, but baby, I'm a high TE user. I like simple. The OP of the Reddit thread, Various Arrivals 1663, even chimed in asking whether the post by Kim Jong was a positive, negative, or an in-between stance, which another INTP responded with the most INTP answer ever. The INTP responded with a simple word, and that response was, yes. And this comment garnered 44 upvotes. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of the comment section, I want to add some context as to why I'm making this video. This video isn't just this random post that I decided to make a video on, but instead, there's a trend that I noticed, and this trend has been brought consistently to my attention. Fellow INTJs, there's a one-sided war being waged against us, and the perpetrators aren't even just the INTPs, but instigated by other types as well. It's not the battle of which I acknowledge exists between both of our types because it's fun seeing how deep in the rabbit hole we get with our NI and TE dominant functions. I think I speak for all of us when I say the battle of wits is fun. But then there are posts and videos claiming that there's another rivalry between the INTPs and INTJs. A rivalry I wasn't even aware of. There are questions posted in Quora about the rivalry. One of the title of a Quora post is, why is it said that the INTJs and INTPs are arch nemesis? Why indeed? Then there are a few Reddit posts that goes back a few years about the rivalry, and there's just as much posts from INTJs even back then saying that there's no rivalry, such as this post made 2 years ago by username Mocking Chief titled, INTJs have no beef with INTPs. Guys, even our golden boy, Frank James, who is an INFJ, an outsider to this rivalry, even called it out in one of his previous videos. I know his videos are made for entertainment and are comedy sketches, but let's ask ourselves, out of the 16 personality types, why did he choose the INTP and INTJ? And before you guys think anything negative, Frank James is a great content creator and he's done a lot for this community. This isn't me throwing shade at him. I just wanted to be clear and point out that my NI has been seeing patterns. I personally think that this rivalry doesn't exist, or if it does, which I don't want to speak for all INTPs, but I will say that it's one-sided. And if any INTPs actually feel this way, I'm sorry to tell you that this is a real life example of the popular Mad Men meme with Don Draper in the elevator, where someone says to him, I feel bad for you. And Don responded, I don't think about you at all. I know this meme is a bit harsh, but I really want INTPs to understand that there is no rivalry outside of the battle of wits. INTJs love, admire, and respect the hell out of INTPs. Don't let us control your emotions, especially if we're unaware of it. That doesn't make sense. Why would you let us do that? Let's lighten up the mood a little. Before we get into the comment section, my resident INTP, the lovely Michelle, has something that she'd like to say to all of you INTJs out there.
I love INTJs.
INTJs are the best.
Michelle has such a beautiful voice. I swear I'm swooned every time I hear her speak. And the other lady's another INTP friend of ours. She has a great voice too. Now let's get back to the comment section. And we're going to start off with the INTJ subreddit because it leans more towards positivity. The top 5 upvoted posts on the INTJ side reads the following. I like INTPs a lot. I feel like they match my energy. I've been married to one for over 21 years. My dad was INTP. We have very deep talks about economics, politics, technology, etc. I'm a fan. INTPs are chill. And lastly, the best people I've met. I need more of them in my life. So the top 5 highly rated comments in the INTJ subreddit are comments made in a very INTJ way. Some may even claim that these comments are opposite of the word unwholesome. Now let's see what the INTPs have to say about INTJs by reading the top 5 highest rated comments on their thread. The highest rated comment on the INTP side is the one I read earlier by the user Kim Jung that bullet pointed their opinion of INTJs, and I'm not going to read it again because it's pretty long. The second comment reads as follows. The INTJ I was falling for passed away unexpectedly. I haven't been the same since. Haven't been able to find anyone else. I respected them so much. I wish I had the drive and vision. I pushed them to think outside the box and listen to outside point of views. I was told I inspired them. They helped me stay on task and make my dream a reality. That was one of the rare heartfelt posts. The following comment I'm going to shorten because it's long, but I'll make sure to read the highlights or the key points of it. Honestly, I have a bit of a problem with all NI DOMs. Not entirely sure why. Maybe because the unhealthy ones are the most painful, insufferable people alive. They're often narrow-minded, prone to black and white thinking. Worst of all, they all pretend not to be, and their intellectual superiority complex can blind them from seeing the sundry truth of their grand vision. Guys, I don't even know what sundry means. They're usually more boring to us. They never seem to change very much, which is weirdly discerning. However, it's often overlooked how incredibly creative, hilarious, and kind they can be while they're never really warm. Their lack of ability to read those around them and act accordingly makes them very difficult to read themselves, and I find it very hard to differentiate whether they're bored, disappointed, angry, or just being themselves, which puts me on edge. They are often very poor communicators. Another thing is that they seem to say what they mean most of the time, while I almost never say exactly what I mean. I prefer communication through word games and implications. They don't seem to have time for this, and I think it can irritate them to have such pointless, nonsensical conversations. While I make judgment comments with NE's unserious, explorative humor, they tend to actually commit their scathing critiques, which can be uncomfortable. Overall, while I don't always understand them or instantly gel with them, I respect INTJs a lot and wish the world had more people who can do or think how they do or think. Let's go to the next one. The fourth comment is one of my favorite, not because of what's being said, but I can't imagine the INTJ subreddit allowing this comment to be so highly rated. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section of this video, what you think about this. The comment goes, I want to punch them in the face, and then punch them in the face again. Fucking only exist to be a contrarian, then end up spouting the biggest judgmental bullshit. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the fourth highest comment with 25 upvotes. Very classy, INTPs. And here's the fifth highest comment. My cousin is INTJ, and well, I admire him for his intelligence and respect his productive work. I admire his way of thinking and solving problems. What I don't like about him are his arrogant superiority complex that he has to always be right. He doesn't respect other point of views and belittles them. I think INTJs are not as open-minded as INTPs are. And the runner-up, which I think is funny as hell because I can't believe this was rated as highly as it did. Married and divorced one. She is a textbook narcissist. Alright guys, I know that was a lot, but I think you guys can see the trend here, and I only read the top 5 comments in both subreddit. If you keep going down the INTJ subreddit, there's a consistent theme of high praise given to the INTPs with a splash of negativity. On the other hand, in the INTP subreddit, they do the opposite and continue to negatively post calling INTJs narrow-minded and arrogant. Like, I'll have links of both those posts below so that you guys can read the comments if you really want to. And if we're making the assumption that everyone that communicated in both the subreddit are correctly typed, there are a few things that we can learn from these posts. The first lesson is the easiest. INTJs fuck with INTPs. We don't see you guys as a threat, but instead a peer. And a peer that's a pleasure to be around. The second, which I'm paraphrasing from an INTP by the username Constant Raisin, when this person responded with, very interesting that INTPs are saying bad things about INTJs and calling them judgmental, yet the same thread posted in the INTJ subreddit is almost nothing but positive comments about INTPs. Maybe take a minute to stop and think about who is really being judgmental here. There seems to be a theme of envy and projection from the INTPs, which is probably a result of inferior extroverted feeling. I made a video of what it means to have blind FE as an INTJ, and in the video I explained how envy is an emotion that INTJs rarely ever feel, if ever. And I suspect that is due to having blind FE. The projection part, as I said earlier, we don't think about INTPs unless we have to. We're shocked that you guys feel that way about us and wish you said something earlier so that we can figure it out a plan together to march forward. But only if you're part of our FI. If you're not, then we don't care about you. The third major call out is that there's a trend of INTPs saying that INTJs have black and white thinking or just set in our ways, ignoring different approaches, which has a hint of truth to it. Young or unhealthy INTJs will approach life very extroverted thinking heavy, which gives them the my way or the highway vibe. It usually changes when we start engaging frequently with our lower functions, introverted feeling and extroverted sensing, where we become more of an actualized and balanced, more laid back INTJ. Until the INTJ gets to that point, I agree with this call out. The fourth lesson is that INTJs appreciate the mind of the INTPs, but think that they're unproductive or a bit lazy. I agree with this as well, but it's due to perspective. Let's be honest, guys. If you compare any type that doesn't have mama extroverted thinking in their first or second slot, it's easy to call them lazy. Mama extroverted thinking is a bulldozer, so it's not fair to compare productivity against a high TE user. You're judging a fish by its ability to climb a tree. The final call out is more of a question to you guys, the audience watching this video. Why do you guys think that the comments are the way they are? I want to start a discussion here on my channel because as an INTJ, I want to improve if there really is an issue, especially if that means being a better person, partner, or peer to one of my favorite MBTI types, the INTPs. As a reminder, keep the comment section civil. I won't hesitate to remove any comment that has malicious intent. All right. That's the end of this video of the INTJ and INTP Reddit war. Someone please message me if this escalates or if something like this gets brought up again so I can inform everyone. I might have gone pretty hard on INTPs in this video, but guys, I'm a bit disappointed. Why are us INTJs giving so much respect and love to a type that thinks so negatively of us? INTP, we love you guys, but that doesn't mean we'll love you no matter what. And that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching, everyone. I really do appreciate it. Thanks again. Bye. All right, now that we're at the end of this video, it's time to do a little quick INTJ like impromptu rant. Let's make the assumption that these people are actually INTPs, and an INTP sees a rivalry between INTJs and INTPs outside of the battle of wits. Guys, we don't see you guys that way. Why would we, an NITE user, compete with a TINE user? We're not on the same track. We're not racing on the same racetrack. It's like I'm racing on a racetrack and you guys are swimming. Of course you're gonna win if we compete on TI. Of course I'm gonna win if we're competing in like NI or TE. The only type that I see as competition are ENTJs. And the only reason why is because they're the other type that uses NI and TE or TE and NI. When an INTJ competes against an ENTJ, we're racing towards the same goal. That's why it's fun, because we're on the same track. It's like, if I were to compete against a high TI user, it's like me bringing a knife to a gunfight. I'm gonna lose. If I know I'm gonna lose, why would I even challenge someone? That's ridiculous. There's no way of winning. So INTPs, if you're here still, dude, just, you're not our rivals outside of an intellectual rival. The ENTJs, on the other hand, you guys, you know what I'm talking about if you're an ENTJ. It's fun. Like, we keep you guys on your toes, and you guys do the same to us. Guys, spread love and positivity. The whole point of MBTI is to improve. Let's not pigeonhole people into stereotypes. Let's continue to all elevate the community together. Thanks again, guys. Bye.